What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Garage Game Podcast. With me, as always, I got Joe Medeiros, Ken Knudsen.
Right here.
I'm Aaron. We got Bassmaster Pro, right? That's how I say it.
Bass Fishing Pro, whatever you want to
Bass
say.
Fishing Pro, Pat Touey, and Luis Fernandes joining us today. So, we're going to kind of get in on some bass fishing and kind of figure out what the hell it's like to be a pro fisherman, because we got no clue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
We were kind of talking before. We were like, what segment should we do? Should we do, and this is really weird without headphones on, by the way.
it's different.
So I'm trying to, I'm like, but we were
just
talking
talking to
before.
this
We're
thing.
like, damn, what segment should we do? Should we do one where it's like we describe like our perfect day at the lake, where like we all do like our pick our bait, pick our what we're gonna, we're like, do we kind of know jack shit about that?
Yeah.
Like I fish quite a few times, but I'm still kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
it's still tough.
No,
what
bass
to use.
fishing's like a whole different deal. Like, people get into fishing when they're young, catching bluegills, catching whatever you can catch.
Exactly, off the rocks and
yeah,
everything,
once you get into the game, you're
Yeah.
this whole mindset opens up,
It
and
turns
it's
into a science.
it's
right?
completely a science. And it's a frustrating
And
science.
bass
Is
fishing
what it is.
You could never master it. You could get good at it, but you could never master it because it's always changing. The weather's always changing.
Yeah.
The lake's always raising, dropping. So it's always changing. So it's always a puzzle to figure out when you get to a
Absolutely.
lake. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Never
That's-
gets old. Never gets old.
So many variables.
Oh.
Especially lake. I'm sure that in the ocean there's obviously variables, but lake is just, especially around here. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the one thing like people don't understand is, and that I'm still learning it as I'm like probably close to 20 years in the game, but I'm still learning that every day is different, and every day they bite or don't bite for some certain reason, whether it was the wind, whether it was sunny, whether it was cold, whatever it was. But then you go and try to duplicate it the next day, and
Yeah.
the next day's different.
Yeah.
So it's like the most frustrating thing to try to stay on top of them, but it's also the most rewarding thing when you're not on them, you make a decision, change spots in the lake, tie on something different, and then you start whacking on them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like-
because there's so many different factors in all aspects, really, of it.
Yep.
Stuff that you can control and stuff that you can't. So
Yep.
that's
and it's not only weather. It's am I fishing deep? Am I fishing shallow? Am I
Right.
fishing clean water, dirty water? And it's all that in one day. Is the moon phase some certain way?
Damn,
And,
there's
so
a
I
lot
can
to know.
I can explain
Yeah.
bass fishing to people, but I can't.
Yeah.
You can only explain it so far to be like, dude, you just gotta experience it.
And-
Time on the water. Like I'm still learning.
And to the layman folk, you don't, like us
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, like you don't have to go super into detail
Oh,
because
totally.
you got to try it to
Yep.
to get into it. But like we're doing right now, definitely get that the variables are crazy.
Yeah.
And what I tell everybody, it's just, you want to get good at fishing, it's time on the water. You could read all the books you want. You could do all the internet stuff, all the YouTube, but you don't get it until it's time on the water.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things like people ask me all the time, being the local guy that catches fish, they're like, oh, what should I throw? And it's like, hey, I don't have a problem. Like, here's what I'm throwing, man, but I can't guarantee you're going to go out there and catch something on it. That's the thing. It's
I'm not giving you some special recipe.
Yeah.
You
It's
got to
like-
do your homework a little bit, but
it's not, that's how bass fishing is. It's not like, oh, here's a crankbait. You're going to go catch them on a
Yeah.
crankbait. It's, oh, how are you working your crankbait? Are you hitting rock?
Yeah,
Are you
you
hitting
know how
grass?
to use it.
And
You
there's
know-
certain,
yeah.
it's just like
Crank
somebody
that-
playing golf.
Yep.
I don't play golf, so I pull up a golf like, what club do I use on this hit? Like, you know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and but it's funny because I consider bass fishing and golf the closest because it's kind of that lone wolf sport. You're on your own,
Yeah.
Well,
and you kind of
and-
pay to
and
play.
it's humbling.
It's humbling.
it's humbling.
so humbling.
Plus, there's a lot of variables.
Variables.
Like you say with the baits and the water rising and all and everything. It's is the wind going on the golf course?
Are the greens
how
fast?
Yeah, how's
sh-
the grass cut?
how strong are
Absolutely.
you? How strong are you with your clubs? Do you hit the club to the maximum capacity the club can go,
Or are you short? Do
are
you
you
know
short?
you're short?
Yeah,
You
or
know?
Yeah, they're like, Tiger Woods hits that 350. Sorry, bud, you ain't hitting that club.
yeah,
You're hitting it about 175.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So
That's your measurement.
yeah.
So we might as well just get in. Let's start, to the beginning. DePalmo, man,
Yeah.
you grew up. He sounds like you're a Central Coast boy too. Like all of us, he's from Tulare. He's
Yeah,
the odd man
I'm the
out.
outcast. That's right.
So,
yeah, how me and Lewis met. Him and
absolutely.
my sister got together, and right away I think the first time we met, we went to Walmart or something. And sure, I beelined it to the fishing section. I look back, he's right behind me. He's like, "You like fishing?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, that's game on." So their relationship didn't work out, but ours did. And, so yeah, we hit it off ever since. Louis kind of took me under his wing, in high school, and I was fishing as like an amateur at the time, and Louis was the pro, and he was taking me to all these big lakes and running me around. So I was getting off school early and not partying as much as I probably should have been.
Yeah. Well, I know us.
You did a good thing.
We partied.
We partied. So I think you partied just good enough. All right, let's leave it at that. So, you took Pat under your wing. It sounds like.
Right.
How long have you been fishing then? What's your deal with that?
I've been fishing since I was a kid, just 4 or 5 years old. My dad was a pro fisherman, sponsored by Ranger, Yamaha.
Oh, wow.
Grew up here on the Central Coast, yeah. So I was sort of born into it, and fished my first team tournament when I was 10. We actually won. So I've been doing it a long, long time.
Man, when you win the first time, it gets you hooked, doesn't it?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the funny story is the first tournament I fished with this guy, we won.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
You're just
I was
only
13.
12.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Nasamento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like you and I know Troy? I see all your pictures.
Yeah, that's
with
his
Troy.
son, yeah.
I kind of put 2 and 2 together.
I'm looking at you and I see
Yeah.
Troy.
Yeah.
A big old boy right there,
Oh,
man.
he's a monster, dude. He's gonna be a football
Dude,
star.
I
for
count.
sure.
Yeah, better be.
Yeah.
That's Daddy's retirement
Yeah.
plan right
There we
there.
go.
I don't hit it fishing. Daddy's retirement
Yeah.
plan.
So Pat, dude, I just want to say, congratulations, man.
Yeah,
On
married.
Madison.
Yeah.
Tied the knot. I'm
It's
in for
about
the long
time.
haul.
I mean, how long's it been? Were you guys
10
together in high school?
10 years.
Was it
Senior
at the end?
of senior
Okay.
year, yeah, we got together. Yep.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I was like trying to find more information on you earlier today while I was putting a little format together for the episode. I just went to your Facebook and I was just like, damn, dude, your pictures are great. You're fucking amazing, dude. It was like,
Yeah.
looked like storybook to me.
No,
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was a little cold, but we all had fun regardless. And,
Yeah.
I gotta say, her hair looked great.
Oh yeah. I
Shout out
went and
Kayla
did that.
Gutierrez.
What a plug.
Yeah.
What a plug.
Man, that made-
Find
that
Kayla
made it-
Gutierrez
that
hair on
made it-
Instagram.
Find Kayla Gutierrez on Instagram. If your girl's looking ratchet, go check out my wife. She'll hook her up.
That used to be our little plug back in the day. We'd actually take a 10-minute, 15-minute break, like our first few episodes. And then we'd come back and be like, that break was sponsored by Kayla Gutierrez hair. If your girl's looking ratchet and needs a tune-up, sorry.
But for real, go see her.
Yeah.
You know if you do.
She killed it.
Yeah. So got married. So you guys got married
So
a year
yeah,
ago,
we did
right?
a small ceremony when we were supposed to have our wedding before COVID shut us down.
Stupid code.
Yeah. So it was just family and friends. I think there was only 15 people there or something. And that was August. But yeah, so then my parents were like, you know what, we just want to throw a big old party. And I was like, I'm down.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, we planned that for March 20th, and yeah, it went well. It was no major catastrophes. I didn't mess anything up.
No one died.
No one died.
My buddy Johnny was asleep on the floor, but that's normal for him.
Yeah. That's normal for at least one of
Yeah, one of the grooms.
Everybody
Better
has
be on the
one.
floor.
Better be
Yeah.
on the floor.
or give a really bad speech.
Yeah.
You know.
I came too.
You're just like, don't chug that bottle. Oh no. Okay. Don Dada. He's
he's
dead to
done.
the world.
Dude, so
No, it was a good time.
growing up, me and this guy played Little League football together.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Pomo
and
Cowboys.
basketball, I think,
Yeah,
maybe.
I cannot find the picture. I had a Little League picture of us. I want to say it was J1s or something like that.
Cowboys, yeah,
Cowboys,
probably J1s, yeah.
Oh yeah. And man, you were a little butterball back
Oh
in
yeah,
the
a
day.
little
I remember,
meatball.
man. Shit was-
Short, I didn't even grow till senior year in high school. It was this little ball of
If I remember
nothing.
right, you did look pretty big with the pads on.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
I
You
look
know
I
what
look
mean?
scary
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
look
yeah.
at the picture, but then you look at me in real life and I'm like 4'11".
Man, but I mean, people around here don't understand. The Nepoma Cowboys, we were fucking good,
were
man.
dominant, dude.
Like every year.
Every year.
Except our last year.
People
Yeah.
don't understand, but we fucking tell them real quick
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah,
Well,
you
it's
know,
funny because
we
I
win
see-
Super Bowls in
Oh
the
yeah,
Cowboys.
every time. But it was funny because that era after we left, I kind of saw it coming. I was like, dude, these kids just keep getting smaller
Yeah.
and smaller and smaller. And we had like you,
Yeah,
Kenny,
yeah.
we had Carlos, my good
Yeah.
buddy.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had Cameron T. We had
Yeah.
big guys,
Not
you
to
know,
mention,
at a young age.
You know, not to mention, like I'm 09, year 10.
Yep.
The 08s, who I played with my whole career,
Corbin.
are
Yeah. Oh,
fuck-
Giants.
are just absolute. And we,
As Landon.
I mean, we win a game by
Monster.
56 and get our asses chewed out after
Yeah.
in the horseshoe. You know what
Yep.
I mean? And
But it's funny, yeah. I saw those kids like start shrinking. And I was like, oh man.
But I will say, I do say that same thing. Like I'll be at like the high school football game or whatever. I'll be like, damn, these kids are small. And then I go on the sideline. I'm like, God damn, these kids are actually pretty big.
Until you're standing next to
I'm
them.
good off this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't got it in me no more about that shit. So I'm good. It took about 7 years to figure out I don't got that shit anymore.
Oh, well, when I was coaching them, because I coached at the high school, and like you try to like get physical with them every once in a while, and kind of like, this is what you got to do. And then when one of them like puts hands on you, and you're like,
Oh,
Damn.
yeah. Then you wake up.
I'm good.
You wake up the next morning. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get with Troy. He tries to manage.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he'll catch me off guard and I'll be like, oh,
Man. What is that?
You gotta hold back tears.
Give it like I'd say another 2 years, and that boy's gonna be eating you alive.
Oh
man.
yeah, I told him I'll pick up a 2x4. If you ever come after me,
Is
I'll either
Troy-
shoot you in the big toe,
Yeah.
or I'll get
Hey, that's such a Portuguese thing to say, dude. A 2x4, a wooden spoon, a garden hose, whatever. Whatever's around.
So I gotta ask: is Troy gonna be heading to Nepoma? Like, what's that deal?
What's the plan?
Please.
Troy. Okay, so
Well,
there's a couple different options though. Grandpa Pat's dad is sort of pushing the St. Joe's on him.
He's trying to push.
Oh.
He's trying to put
that deal on.
No.
trying to push the St. Joe's on him.
No.
Troy's
Troy,
like,
if you watch this, do not go to St. Joe's.
no way.
Don't do
Oh.
it.
I was a half Eagle for 2 years, and then I graduated from Rigetti for 2 years. So I'm like, wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
So
You know
Nepoma.
me, I want him to go.
So Nepoma.
That's right. Oh, that's right though, because I've seen pictures. He played at Orchid.
Yeah.
That's where we live now.
Yeah.
He's been playing in Orchid. So
Okay.
that's-
Oh, you guys are all living in Orchid?
And he's
Yeah,
already getting scoped out by some of the high schools.
I know.
Yeah, he's
I get
already like.
Well, he's like 6'6", 340,
Yeah,
and he's
he's
like an
a
8th
stud.
grader, dude.
Yeah,
He's a big boy,
he's a
dude.
stud.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Well, he's not going to Pomo.
Yeah.
If they're scoping him out,
Just not St. Joe's.
It's just not.
Just not St. Joe's. I don't mind Rigetti.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
Rigetti.
So we on the segment now, or
No, so
I was like, where are we at?
we just kind of obviously when your love for fishing started, we kind of talked about that. But like, when did you guys know that you guys were gonna want to do something like this for a living? Like, was that obviously maybe 12 for you when you kind of realized that you could?
Well, so Louis got me into fishing. We won our first tournament, and it was like shortly after that. We were fishing team tournaments, so this is kind of how it goes. There's team events, like local clubs, like we fish here, Nacimiento, Lopez, Margarita, San Antonio when it used to have water, Cachuma. So there's like American Bass. There used to be like 5 or 6 clubs, so I think we're down to like 2. And they're 30, 40 boat clubs, and that's how we started. That's how usually everybody starts. You fish with your best buddy. It's like a $350 entry, and you go try to win some money at your local lake, And so Louis, he had already fished a couple like semi-pro events prior to me meeting him. So we won that first tournament, and this new circuit was coming to the West Coast called the National Guard. FLW National Guard, and it was the Western Series. They had an Eastern Series, and that's kind of the deal with the West and the East. We don't get as much love from the fishing world as the East Coast does because there's more fishing back there.
We never get love in anything.
anything.
Yeah.
with the West
Anything.
Coast because no one can stay up and watch us.
Yeah, exactly. So we fished. So he entered in that as a pro, and I entered as an AM, and that was, what was that, 2008? 2007, I think, was Clear Lake.
Yeah.
And then 8 was...
2008 was the Delta.
Yeah. So we fished. that, and we fished the 2007 we fished. It was like the last event, and we only fished one event. We didn't fish the whole series. It was at Clear Lake. And the first day, he did really well, and then second day didn't do very good, and that was the end of the season. But it kind of got us into, hey, we're gonna, let's try to do this thing next year. Sign up for all 4 of them. And I'm fishing as a co-angler, so I'm kind of just along for the ride, learning experience.
Okay, what's co-angler?
So when you're fishing these pro
Good
or
question.
pro-am, great question. Pro-am circuits, there's 2 entry fees. There's a lower entry fee, which is like usually $600 to $800, and then there's our entry fee, which is anywhere from, depending on the level of tournament you're fishing, could be $1,200 to $3,400.
Okay.
The entry fee to enter. So
I think those were even 5,000 on those.
I think they
ones.
got to 4,500
yeah.
or something like that.
Damn.
It's higher the entry
But
fee.
you
But
win a
more
lot of
money,
money.
yes.
more money you can
Yeah.
win.
So
More
the
like
co-angler-
probably Buffer got to get some cash.
125 grand
exactly.
for first place.
Okay.
And
That's
then,
it?
but they'd pay down to 50th, and 50th place was 10 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you get.
So you're making
You can get
half.
some money.
You can make your money back.
So out of 250 boats, I mean that's a big prize.
Yeah.
So is it 4,500 for the 2 of you?
So here's the thing. So
For pro.
we pay
For one pro?
So yeah, back to the co and professional thing. The co's pay their entry fee, the pros pay their entry fee, and they're both fishing for their own fish. 5 fish for the pro, and they have nothing to do with each other. And there's a random draw. So say there's 200 boats that enter the tournament. They go in their computer, enter everybody's name, they mix them up however they do on the computer, and it comes out. First boat, the professional's name and the co-angler's name. The co-angler fishes on the back of whoever's pro he drew, and that's how he fishes. But it's like rules. He can't stand on the front. He kind of has to respect the pro and only fish off the back. That's kind
Gotcha.
of how it goes. It's like a learning experience.
It's a learning
It's
deal for 'em.
it's more a learning thing, but they win money too. They win boats and money and the
Yeah.
whole deal.
Oh, it's like student teaching.
Yeah,
almost.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
And each day you draw a different pro.
each
Right.
day
You
you're
Oh, so you guys didn't get to fish you're
together.
fishing with
No,
someone-
yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't
Yeah.
know it was like that.
So I'd roll up 15-year-old and draw some guy from Tennessee, who's
Wow.
fishing Clear Lake, and I'd be on the back of his boat all day, and I'd go weigh my fish.
Sounds like a caddy thing.
And then the
almost,
next
what I mean?
day, I'm on somebody else's boat. So
Oh, shit.
That's a good way to meet new people.
oh yeah, and learn how to fish
Yeah.
because the whole thing with fishing is everybody fishes different. He'll throw something different. He'll throw something. We all throw something different in a different way. So then it opens your mind when you fish with someone and be like, dude, I would never ever throw that, but you're catching fish on it. So maybe I'll try it.
Put that in the bank.
Exactly.
And a lot of things I could tell, like people who want to start professional bass fishing or get into fishing in a more serious way, is fish co-angler for like 3 or 4 years, and have that chance
Yeah.
to fish with all these pros each day, different pros, because they'll open your mind up to like, wow, like
And
you
also-
will learn so much.
And also, you get to watch them make mistakes, so you don't,
Yeah.
Right.
'cause we make a lot of mistakes out on the water, whether it is running out of gas, running out of oil. Like, there's plenty of mistakes professionals make, crashing their boat.
I
whatever
didn't
it
even
is.
think about the
Oh,
the
there's
fact
boat
that
variables,
the
too.
boat overhead plus like
Oh yeah.
worrying about
So
the upkeep on that.
So let me put it to this. So
Go
I
ahead,
was in.
man.
I was in. When was it? This November, I was fishing a championship at Kentucky Lake, or I'm sorry, Kentucky Lake Cumberland,
Okay.
and for fishing for 240 grand. So how big those lakes are back east? The reason why professional fishing is so big back east because the lakes are humongous, and they're all within miles. I mean, they're just everywhere.
They have water.
We don't have the water like they do back east.
Yeah.
So, but it was 20 degrees, right? I was traveling I was going an hour and 20 minutes to my fishing spot at 80 miles an hour at 20-degree weather. So your boat better not, you're doing that 3 or 4 days in a row,
Yep.
Your equipment has
and
to
you're
hold
fishing
up.
for 240 grand. Your equipment has to hold
Yeah.
up spot on.
So if it doesn't, do you gotta like rush to hurry up and try to find like a mechanic or something? Is there like a
Well,
mechanic who comes
well,
out to you?
Like service trailer.
Yeah, so they have a service trailer. They have everything at tournaments where if you break down, it's like NASCAR. You pull your stuff up to the dock. It's done, done.
shit, okay.
We get you back on.
Well, that's basic.
But when you're
Cool.
80,
100 miles
50
away,
miles
they
down
can't
the
do that.
lake and you're weighing times at 3 o'clock and you're burning up, 3 hours just to get there and back, and you only got
Yeah.
5 hours, you're done for the day. And
Yeah.
that'll just drop. That'll take you right out of the lead
So
or take
how-
you out of the top 20.
How long? Okay, so how long is your typical round or day, I guess, on the lake until you
like
have to
8
go
hours.
weigh-ins?
8
Okay.
hours. 8 hours is average. 8 hours.
Okay.
We
And
usually
when do you
launch
get
at
out there?
first light. First light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We usually
Usually
launch
7.
at first light, and then it's usually 8. So I just got back from Lake Eufaula, Alabama. I fished the first tour event there. I just got back 2 weeks ago, and we launched. It was light out there at 6:30, and then each day there's so many pros that. They have flights. So the first flight's in at 2:00. The first 25 boats. Second flight is at 2:30,
Usually
and that's
15-minute increments.
increments. Yeah, and you come in. So maybe the first day you're in the first flight, but the second day they reverse it, so you're going to be in the fourth flight, and that's like a 4:30 weigh-in.
Yeah.
So you have to, once again, another variable.
Yeah.
You have to think, am I catching them in the later day? Do I want a late draw? But you don't get to choose, but you have to be like, I got the late draw today, so I'm going to get that late bite.
It's going to change.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, back to the whole starting thing. It was, me and Louie went to go fish that whole tour, and so we signed up the next year. I think the first one was the Columbia River, right?
Yeah.
And that's in Oregon. That's a 24
hours.
Yeah, 26-hour drive or something.
Right.
He didn't do too well, but I got second as a co-angler, which was cool.
Wait, so is there a co-angler tournament and then a pro tournament?
Yeah, but they're it's going on at the same time, but there's they have their own pool, and then
It's like a different division.
yeah. So
And you still win boats
Right.
and stuff as the
Amateur
co-angler?
division and pro division.
Wow.
so I got second, and I think I was only like 16. And the guy who beat me was Gary Haraguchi, and he's won a bunch of times. But I think he won 24.
I think Patrick was 15, and we actually lied to get into the tournament.
Well, no, let me put
We're
it,
like, you're 16.
let me put it this way: how did the co-angler prize pool pay a second place? Because
I think
you might have
that-
to show your ID to get that thing.
10 or 15
that was
grand or so.
14 grand, yeah.
No
14
shit.
grand
For second, yeah.
boy.
For a 15-year-old.
Boy's a sophomore in high school,
Yeah.
dude. What do you? No wonder.
Let's go party, boy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're buying the keg this weekend.
No, so then the next tournament was at the Cal Delta, and flip-flops. I did crappy as a co-angler, but this guy gets on TV, ends up in third place, wins 40 grand
Damn.
for third as a professional, and it was on national television, the whole deal.
man.
We actually have the CD still somewhere.
Yeah, so it could be hard, but like you hit one tournament like high up there, man.
Dude, I
That's
think it
nice.
changes.
I
Yeah,
was
you
a couple
win it,
pounds
like-
away from winning 125 grand on that
Oh
one.
man.
Like, yeah.
Dude, when we worked at Little Jocko's,
Yeah.
Danny, I don't know Danny Knotts.
Not
Danny
Danny
Knotts,
Knotts.
He's our
yeah.
good friend.
Yeah, so he would be
Good
every
guy.
Saturday. He wouldn't come in. He didn't work Saturdays because
Yeah.
he would always be
At
out
a
at
derby,
tournaments.
right?
Yeah, always. And so then he would like
I remember.
come back and be like, "Yeah, I won a fucking boat this last week." I'm like, "You won what?" Like I figured maybe a couple $100 or so. I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I won a boat." I'm like, "They got it like that?" Like I didn't know that was a thing. You know?
Oh yeah, no, there's big money in it, and that's kind of how you get hooked. I fished the first derby, and I think we won at that Nostomy Minnow tournament. Won like close to $4 grand, and I'm 13, and I was like, you can win money doing that. This game on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an adventure for sure, but it's a long term investment. Like some guys will get have it easy, I shouldn't say easy, but hit it sooner than others. Somebody will win. Like there's a guy, Brandon Polinick. He was young, and now he's one of the top anglers, and he went on a run at a young age and got there and stayed there, and now he's become one of the best anglers. And I'm not aged yet. I'm still 28, so I got time.
Yeah.
But Louie, he's this year now fishing the National Professional Fishing League, which is a new tour that came out this year.
In PFL.
In NPFL. And that's
cool.
So there was two.
No, I just did it.
Yeah, he did. We have a problem saying that.
Bro, our sports are all acronyms, so it's like we usually do that.
Wow. Did you see my Instagram?
No,
No.
dude, I was looking
We were
for
looking.
you, dude. I was like, cannot find
I
you.
don't do the Facebook.
he doesn't do
Dude,
that.
You don't need
Okay,
Facebook. Shit's
so
trash.
I don't even like social media, but my sponsors last year were like, dude, you have to start an Instagram. You have to start this. You have to, or we're not having nothing to do with you. So
Yeah.
I just started Instagram 2 years ago. I think it's I'm getting the hang of it.
Well,
Honestly,
don't
to have
like to
someone
post. I hate
but
posting.
have someone help you out with that though,
Right.
that knows about that
you
shit.
have a teenage son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
There you
Well,
go.
that's where he
You
that's
know?
where he gets most of his
Yeah.
help from.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
that's another thing to get into is how the fishing industry changed. Like back when Louie's dad was into it, and me and Louis first started getting into it, that social media wasn't a thing. You know, we still had MySpace. And
Pick what song you
basic,
wanted.
yeah,
Top 8.
exactly.
Caused so
now
many
guys
problems.
Now guys are getting sponsored because of how big their their platform is.
Their
And
following.
Their
Yeah.
following.
Well-
You don't have to be the best fisherman no more, and
Yeah.
we're going to give you 30 grand a year or 40 grand a year to, just because they're social
Yeah,
media.
60,000
Well,
followers.
there's I'm sure there's performance based, and then there's marketability.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And like you said, if you get the views, if you get the followers and the subscribers, then you're marketable. You obviously have a brand that relates to people, or else people wouldn't be fucking subscribing to you.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, and we'll be helping you out here too soon. Hopefully
Yeah.
we can get out and shoot some
hell
videos with
Yes,
you
we
guys.
want some
No,
content.
you know
we
what
want
I
to do
mean?
some content.
Do some content.
Content can help you out and help
yeah.
us out, and that would be fun, dude.
Oh, yeah.
No, and that's another thing. That's why, going full circle, we saw my buddy Johnny Ziola. I don't know if you've seen any of those videos. That's mainly
The
where
ones
he-
that you post and stuff.
yeah, all
Yeah,
the ones
yeah,
I
I see
post, like my fishing stuff. That's all my buddy Johnny Z. And back in, I'd say probably 2010-ish, we started going. I was working at Tackle Warehouse still. We all started going on trips just to go. There's big swim baits in bass fishing. You catch big ones. They're like big trout swim baits, and you can go trophy hunt is what they call it. So we'd go on these trips up to like lakes that we don't have trout or trout stocking programs, and we'd go up to Berryessa, up to Clear Lake, and me, Johnny, a bunch of my friends would go, and he'd start filming us on his iPhone, and he kind of saw the whole way the fishing industry was going before everybody else, and he started filming on his iPhone, and it's like, dude, like people like all this stuff I like edit and blah blah blah. So then he got a camera, and about this time I'm fishing pro-am stuff in California and the West Coast, and like I was saying, the East Coast is so much bigger in the fishing world, and they have the Bassmaster Opens, which is the qualifying round to basically get on TV and be the top dog.
Okay.
I was like, Johnny, let's just go back east. Like we're spinning our wheels fishing the West Coast stuff that's not getting us anywhere. Yeah, we could win a tournament, but we're not trying to qualify for the next round, you know? And I was like,
See the
let's
big picture.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, let's go play the big game. And he's like, let's do it. So he signed up with me as a co-angler the first year, and I ended up leaving tackle because we fished the first one at Table Rock, and I got 15th place out of 200 guys. And that's the kind of finish you have to have.
I'm sure that
you
pays
know.
well too.
Oh
it
yeah,
going.
yeah, and you have 15th, 20th, 15th. You're gonna qualify to make the Elite Series, and so basically at that point I was like, dude, I gotta leave tackle and kind of put all my eggs in this basket. And meanwhile, Johnny picked up a drone, a Sony A6500, and he's filming me as he's fishing the tournament.
You're investing in your business.
Yeah,
Yes.
trying to,
Putting money back.
and Johnny's building his filming brand because that's what he wants to do is freelance
yeah.
filming. And it's funny because so we did that. I ended up bombing the second tournament. Third tournament, I was in 7th place going into the second day, bombed that one. Spent all this money going back east, came back. I was like, let's do it one more year. But Johnny's filming stuff took us to this whole another realm of like sponsorship stuff
I bet,
and
yeah.
all this stuff, and AFCO, which is like the gear I'm wearing, and they hit up Johnny and was like, dude, we love your stuff. We want you to, film advertisements, this
That's
and that.
bitching, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we were super stoked, and then they did this. So the following year was coming where we were gonna sign up for the tournament, and they did this video competition. AFCO did, and they were you submit a video, and they're gonna pay your the person's entry fees for the whole year, which is and gas and lodging, the whole deal for the Open. So John's like, dude, I could win this because like I'm crushing it in the filming game. Sure as crap, Johnny films himself, does this whole video, edits it up, turns it into AFCO. He ends up winning.
No way.
They pay
All
for
that shit paid for it.
whole
Dude,
thing
that's
paid
sick.
for, and AFCO kind of just jumps on our back, and we had this whole Bass Boot Camp
feel like I'm
vlog
fucking
going
stoked
for,
right now.
for 2
Yeah.
years, and yeah, it was awesome, and
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be back. I went, came back, got married, and this and that, but yeah, I'm sure I'll be back east fishing the opens again in the next couple years.
Oh yeah.
That's freaking sick.
Crazy. Okay, I didn't know that it was like all like that. Like everything's back east.
Yep.
You know, because I think we have lakes here and stuff, but when you actually talk about it, you know, think about like the Great Lakes up in like Michigan. All that.
Well,
kind
the
of
thing
stuff.
about the West Coast mainly is we only have lakes that can like capacitate a 200, 250 boat tournament. We only have on the whole entire West Coast. I'm talking Oregon, California, Nevada. There's literally only 4,
Really?
maybe 5. There's the Columbia River, Shasta, Delta, Clear Lake, Havasu, and Meade. 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all we have on the whole entire western seaboard. Big
Tahoe
enough.
don't do any of that.
Tahoe isn't a
They're-
bass fishing lake.
They're not up, yeah.
No, it's all back east. I mean, they got hundreds of lakes, and it's
Yeah.
all. And plus, when you run a tour, no one wants to come drive all the way from back east, 4 days, fish a tournament, and have to 4 days back. All those guys back east are 10 hours to the tournament back
Yeah.
home, 8 hours to the tournament back home, 6 hours to the tournament back home.
Yep.
You-
That's
you
very
know.
true. Yeah, you're right.
You know, I'm
on
fishing
that.
the national tour now back east. I just got back from Alabama, Eufaula, and it's hard for California boys to do it.
I can imagine.
There's
man.
only two guys from California fishing that whole circuit. Everyone else is back east.
And we fished
So-
the opens. Me and Johnny were the only 2 signed up from California.
Yeah. I leave my truck and
That's
rig
crazy.
over there.
That's
I leave my
crazy.
truck and boat over there and fly back. Like next week, I fly to Texas for the second tournament.
Brilliant.
And
Yeah.
like, cause you just can't do it.
Storage,
Yeah,
bring it
4
back.
days to drive, eat, route.
That's just more time for
Yeah,
stuff to go
dude.
wrong.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
with
Equipment,
boats,
trucks,
and
yeah.
trucks, you know,
Yeah.
shit goes wrong with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
pretty,
Oh,
yeah.
frequently. What, bust out another 1,000 is what a boat
That's what
stands
a boat
for?
stands
Yeah,
for. You already
yeah.
know, dude.
Exactly.
You already know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we keep talking, I just want you guys. We'll go around the table. Let's just describe your perfect lake day. So anything,
Like for us, it could be like what we would do at the lake. Or
yeah,
whatever.
like
You
your
guys
perfect lake day.
have
Like
another-
Yeah.
what bait's on your line? What beer
yeah.
are you drinking? Like give us all that.
Right.
I'll start it off.
All right.
Good.
Modelo's in the cooler. All right, that's number one. Got to have the Modelo's in the cooler. Got to have an inner tube.
Yeah.
You know, fishing. I like going fishing, but I'm not very good at it. I do more fishing than catching.
Yeah.
You know, so I get
usually.
way too frustrated after a while, and I'm like, dude, fuck this. I just want to go out and go on the back of a tube or something. So fish early in the morning. Try to at least and see if I can catch anything. Then head out, get some tubing in, go sit on a nice beach somewhere. You know, I mean, I imagine
Yeah.
I don't know very many lakes. I've only been to a couple of them around here, and I believe one. Well, Bass Lake's probably my favorite.
Bass Lake's beautiful.
Bass Lake's pretty bitchin'. That was probably one of the best lakes I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously, you know,
Yeah.
just chilling with the homies. I don't really think anything else for a lake day.
No, that's
I
great.
don't need anything.
Yeah.
Just sunscreen.
You need sun, yeah.
Yeah,
I
sun for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, trust me, I know. My favorite, dude, my favorite day would be is because I love going to lakes and camping and shit. I got my whole campsite together, you know, tents down.
Oh, yeah.
because I love
Love
tent
camping.
camping still. You know, I mean, yeah, I have an RV, that's cool, but I still love tent camping and just having
hell
like
yeah.
your whole
Right.
setup in the camp.
Right.
Yeah, dude, some beers, the homies. You know,
Absolutely.
go to the lake, do some fishing.
Kicking it.
Just have a good
relaxing.
time, man, because that's why we go to the lake is to fucking get away. So
Right.
that's what I want to do right there.
There it is. Man, it's like a combination because I've been to a few different lakes. So like my perfect day would be like a combination of everything. So like I would love. Have you guys ever been to Hume Lake?
I've been to Hume.
Hume is awesome. I love Hume. But you know, just out here, we always go to Lopez and stuff. Shout out.
Lopez. It's always windy.
Yeah, it's always
Lopez,
super
bro.
windy. Super windy. But shout out to Devontae Jackson. I'd have your Lake Days playlist playing.
Hell yeah.
I'd have some beer flowing, either some Coors or some Modelo. Have some peanut butter and jelly Uncrustables when I get hungry. Some Cheetos. And maybe a fishing pole. Last time I went fishing, I didn't catch nothing but a cold because it was windy. But
Because he was at Lopez.
but other than that, man, like just good times, man. Good times, good music, and it's just nice to like be out there. And most lakes, I would assume, I don't know, like there's no cell service out there.
No, rarely.
So it's nice to kind of disconnect
Unplug.
What you want.
and just chill.
Yep.
Can we also talk about how there's nothing that hits better than a lake sandwich?
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, you
Any lake
you
food.
crunch the chips inside the sandwich. Oh, the absolute best. I think that's probably one of my favorite foods of all time.
Well, I've got.
Is when you're all tired as hell out in the
Or like,
lake.
after,
yeah.
that's like goes the same with like after getting out of the pool and
Yeah.
stuff, like on a freaking sunny day.
Some Doritos,
dude.
some
back when
nacho
you were a
cheese
kid.
Doritos,
Back when
dude.
you were a kid, mom has the sandwiches made. Smash the Doritos inside the sandwich. You know.
Now we put top
Mom,
ramen.
give me a beer.
Yeah, now I'm about to blow your mind.
Oh, you're a savage.
I bring freaking cup of noodles and a jet boil, my backpacking jet boil, and I cook hot soups on my boat
That's genius.
all the time.
That's what's
Quick,
up.
dude,
Yeah.
just 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. Oh, things ready to go.
Like we did back in the day at Mesa.
Yeah,
You
put
get
the
little-
fork
the
through
fork
this.
inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Some
All right.
things you don't ever lose.
So my perfect lake day would be like coming into summertime. You got those warm mornings where you like barely have to put a sweatshirt on. You can still rock shorts and flip flops. It's like 62, 65 in the morning.
Obviously 60 or 65.
to start, right? To start the morning.
start.
He's saying what I would have said.
Absolutely. I want top waters tied on, flipping sticks, frogs. But the biggest thing for me is like, I like catching them just as much as anybody else. But when I take somebody new who hasn't experienced either a big fish or just catching them in general, like watching them catch them, I'm like way more stoked than when I catch them.
That's awesome.
So my
That's the best
perfect
part
lake day
about
is
it.
taking some new kid out and smashing on them.
It's like the satisfaction, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Of them getting their cherry, bro.
Super stoked. Happens to Troy all the time.
Troy's afraid to let go of him no more because Troy hogs the front of the boat.
Yeah.
If you're watching Troy, stop hogging the front of the boat. Give your friends a shot. So my perfect day would be, like Patrick said, 60, 65 degrees, put a sweatshirt on, overcast, don't want the sun. They bite better in the overcast.
Okay.
We'll take the sun in the afternoon, though.
There you go.
Crankbaits tied on, shallow water cranking, square bills. Like he said, a frog, flipping stick, grass, all shallow water fishing. Catch my fish in 5 foot or less. And that's like the perfect day. I got waters and a couple Red Bulls in the cooler.
Maybe a tall boy.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. So yes, with that top, you said a ramen sandwich. What would be your best lake food? Like what? Like,
So it depends. If
for
it's
you?
wintertime.
I go through bags of jerky, though.
Yeah.
Bags,
Yes,
dude.
yeah.
What
Because
kind
when we're
what kind of
pre-fishing-
jerky?
It don't matter. I like
Pepper
them
to
all,
me.
bro. I like them all. But Shahoob's pretty good.
I don't think I've had that.
Shahoob from Santa Barbara?
No,
The white
I don't think I've
package
ever
with the
had
red
it.
lettering?
Container.
It's
Oh,
like
dude.
Containers, yeah.
Shahoob.
I always do containers, but yeah.
But no,
Shahoob's,
Shahoob.
excuse me.
Oh, dude.
I'll look for it next
You'll,
time. I
you'll
go.
eat the whole bag.
Where do
for
you
sure.
find it? Where's that?
I haven't seen it around here.
I
don't
haven't
think
seen
too
it around
much,
here
yeah.
either.
It's okay.
Container,
You
dude.
see it
The weighted
sometimes at gas
container.
stations.
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude. It's
So when
good,
we're
man.
pre-fishing for tournaments, though, and
We don't eat.
you don't eat because from sun up, I mean, you're on the water at dark, barely getting light when
Yeah.
you're practicing, and you're off the water at dark. I mean, you're grinding. You're looking at your graph. You're going here. Because
Yeah.
the lakes are so huge back east and
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
They're huge. Yeah, and
So
you only
you're
got 2 or
mapping it
3
out
days.
Is what you're trying to do the first
Yeah,
couple
and
days?
you got to find them. Yeah, you only
got
get
you.
3 days to find them, figure them out to win this tournament. When you got a 80-mile long lake with coves and this, and you can't do it in 3 days. So you really got to do your homework. Google Earth. Do your Google Earth
Yes.
planning.
Yeah.
Do all your internet planning. Do your YouTube stuff on that lake.
Okay,
You know, and
I
then
gotcha.
so when you go out in those 3 days, you don't waste no freaking time.
It is a fucking science.
Oh,
That's-
dude.
That was going to be one of my
Jesus,
next
man.
questions. I was going to say the night before or the week leading up before the big tournament. Ooh, like what is your normal
It's usually
preparation?
we usually have three. You have 2.
3 days.
Yeah, so we usually have like 4 to 2 days of practice before the event starts.
like
And,
in
and how
that
long's the
lake.
event?
Yes.
Okay.
So the event's 3 days,
days?
long.
Okay.
Yeah. And the top 10 only fish the last day, so there's a cut.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
You have to make it to that 10
More,
cut.
more room for
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah. No, it makes it better. It makes it definitely for like a better show. But like Lewis was saying, our lake days aren't like normal people's lake days. I took my buddy Kyron out. one of Maddie's best friend's husbands, and I took him out to Nasi, and we went fishing. He's like, dude, he texted me the day after. He's like, dude, I can't do that again. He's like, you don't eat, you don't drink water. He's like, you don't do nothing, you don't slow down.
I'm sore.
He's like,
I got muscles that I'm sorry I never knew I had before.
yeah. And I tell people all the time, I was like,
we're athletes, bro.
you come on a day on my boat, and I'll kick your ass.
We're athletes. So my chick, when I come home, she's like, oh yeah, you had a rough one. You lost 6-7 pounds on this trip. Because we do. We're like, the passion burns so strong.
Where you
want to
can't.
You want to win.
Your brain doesn't even think about drinking water.
I guess your brain at that point when you're so locked in, you're thinking about that prize pool plus everything you need to do. It's like every second is crucial because you get something, you get like a read or you figure out, you go to that spot, you're like a couple seconds too late. Right. They're on to the next.
Oh, we're a mess on the water. You should see it. We'll break something off and be like.
And then in the tournament, if you catch a giant, are you doing good? You're literally shaking. You can't even
Your heart's like.
It's good. It's a drug.
That's awesome.
Just look at my Instagram, Louis Fernandes fishing. Look at and there's videos on there.
We were trying to find you.
It's crazy, dude. It's just the excitement, and then when the weigh-ins, like when you're coming up to the weigh-ins of the fans. And oh, dude, and you're on stage. And is that your fish? It's so addicting, bro. And you want more, and you want more, and you want more. And then when you're fishing these big tournaments, when you finally make it to the tour, you're just like, okay, I made it. And then you're doing it. It's just like you still want more, and
never stops.
It never stops.
All right, we're officially following you on Instagram.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now we'll see it all. But yeah, I can only imagine, dude. Like that's freaking awesome. Because I know. I mean, obviously it's not the same, but like, you know, you're out at the lake and you catch a little fish, you know, like a bluegill or something. You're like, fuck yeah, I got it. Yeah. Like, I can imagine if
we're like this.
Yeah.
Fuck that bluegill.
Yeah. Right.
And the mood swings are crazy. Like, it's like go, 80 miles an hour to your spot. Whoa, popping waves, 80 miles. Hopefully the lake's glass, but we fish in some lakes that are like 6 footers, and you're 80 miles an hour, and you're and then when you get to your spot, it's like it's slow. You're like, your whole mood is like, woo. Like,
slow down.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to listen to this fucking podcast.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's crazy, dude. It's literally like a drug. It's like,
dude, I can't even imagine.
You don't need cocaine when you bass fish, tournament fish,
it's
dude.
adrenaline on.
It's crazy, dude.
A few weeks ago, I had some family in town, and they brought some fishing poles, and so like, hey, let's just go fishing off the pier in Pismo. I was like, all right, cool. So it was me, my godfather, his brother-in-law, my godson, my cousin. Like there was like 6 of us. Nobody caught a fish. I caught a little fucking tiny, small fish, dude. Right? And I was like, I think I just felt the nibble. So I'm like slowly like reeling it in. I'm like, oh shit, I feel it. So like I reel it in, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, look, it's fucking tiny right
and
here,
what
man.
a lot of people don't get when they say, oh, well, how do I catch them? Like, I just throw it out there and I leave it. See, and that's cool catfishing or something like that. Yeah. But we're bass fishers. We hunt for them.
Yeah.
We're not sitting and letting something wait.
Like me and my boys.
We're hunting for them.
Yeah, exactly.
We're hunting. We're not fishing.
Like it's different because me and my boys
you.
will go when we go camping up north, like a Chiquito Creek and all the spots like way up close to in the lower Sierras and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Like we'll in the morning, dude, we'll get up, do the bait up, get our rig set, and just fucking go throw it out into the creek. And lay it on some bushes,
right?
And then come back to it, in a little bit, because they ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They ain't going anywhere. Like, so you'll come back in a couple hours and see what you got. You get something. When you leave it out there. My favorite is off Pirates, dude. I go to the rocks off Pirates. I've caught shark. I've caught, the rockfish. Obviously, but. Yeah, dude, that's.
No, but I can't even imagine catching a big ass fish. Like I was so stoked catching that small fish because everybody's all pissed. You don't ever go fishing, and you live here and you don't have poles and you catch the freaking fish. Yeah, like, that's how it is, man.
And people that don't bass fish, they're like, oh, I'll go bass fishing. You catch them on that frog? How do they eat it? And I was like, well, they blow through the grass mats just to get it. They're like, no way. They're like, what? So I show them. And they're like, you got a little frog. You're working on the grass mat, and those 5, 6, 7 pounders, they blow through that whole grass. Get that bait, and they're just like, what? It scares them. They're like, what the? Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
People don't
they don't realize like
Sometimes we're catching them too, like
6 inches of water,
right
foot of
there
water.
where your
And you
ice
can just
chest
see
is.
it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes you see them when they're on beds. They make
Dude.
beds and they're spawning. That's what they're doing.
Sometimes
right now.
they're out like when the bait fishermen are out fishing and they're casting as far as they can out there. We'll be as far as we can to the shore, flipping in that grass into a foot of water, and that's where those big ones are.
What a trip.
But it always changes too. That's why bass.
yeah, the
fishing
next
is
day you're
so-
gonna go there and they're in the middle
Yeah,
of the lake
it's
with
like
the other
okay,
guys.
what
Right.
happened? You know, you'll get some. Sometimes they stay for a week or stable weather. The water don't fluctuate up and down, and they'll stay. But I mean, for the most part, these lakes up
Every
and
day.
down, yeah,
Every day is
every
something
changes.
different.
Yep.
Have you guys ever fished out in the rain?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Absolutely.
We get forced to in tournaments.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Do the fish bite
Especially
better
back east,
in the
it's the
rain,
weather on the
or
east.
Some places they do. Some places like the place that
kinda-
we get rained on every time is Shasta, and we have a January tournament in Shasta, so it's winter time.
rain or cold rain.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have a cold
different
rain
rains.
the whole time, and
Different
it's
rains, different time of the
doesn't
year.
make it
bet.
better.
So what's your favorite local lake? Local lake or
Margarita.
California?
Margarita.
Okay,
Local lake,
what's your favorite Cali lake?
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake. Nice. I'll probably be up there this week, next weekend. So
Clear Lake is okay. So every year, Bassmaster Magazine they rank the lakes in
Yeah.
the United States. Clear Lake is #1 bass lake this year.
Is it really?
In the United States. Number
So
one.
we may not have a lot of them. We got the fucking
Yeah.
best.
We got the
You
best.
have the best.
well, the West Coast is the best coast.
I'll say that. but Clear
Not for
Lake
fishing,
is
I
the
guess.
best.
But
But yeah, they have other big bass factories back east, but
yeah.
you look at Clear Lake stats and nothing can compete.
Nothing compares.
So I gotta ask. Obviously, being a pro fisherman, whenever you see like the marlin videos, does that get you going? Do you want to catch a
Oh
marlin
yeah,
one day?
I'm into that too. But
that
I
looks
can't,
so fucking hard, dude.
Oh yeah, it looks so.
It's like
fun,
a 3-4 hour freaking thing
Yeah.
sometimes.
Like in
You're
Florida and whatnot. Off the
though.
coast.
San Diego, those big old tuna.
Yeah.
Well, that's my rod sponsor, iRod. He was big bass fisherman, trophy hunter, swim bait guy, and he lives down in L.A. And ever since, from 8 years ago, once those tuna started coming into San Diego harder and harder every year, he got addicted to ocean fishing. He doesn't even bass fish anymore.
Yeah.
He made a whole ocean series rod. Like, he still has his bass rods, but he's like, dude, I bought an ocean boat. I go catch tuna now.
Yeah, I bet. Those tunas are fucking monsters.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they get paid for them. They those things are worth a lot of money.
So you are owner of you made your own company.
Yeah,
So Villain
Villain Baits.
Bait Co. Kind of tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Yeah, so back in the day, me and Lewis actually started it, but back in the day, it was like there was a swim bait design, and there wasn't very many swim baits out. It's like a paddle tail, looks like a fish basically, and the line goes through the nose and comes out the belly, and you put a little hook in the belly. So when you hook the fish, the bait slides up the line. It was kind of like a new deal for the time. But it was like an underground bait that our buddies were making in Bakersfield. Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was making them for a while, and then he kind of like stopped making them. And I worked at Tackle and was kind of seeing all the money going through Tackle Warehouse and all these baits getting bought. I'm like, dude, if I could get a little chunk of this, I'd be stoked. And so me and him got together. He hit up our buddy Jason, and he's like, dude, we're not doing anything with the molds. Like, if you guys want them, like, here they are. So we ended up taking the molds. I was pouring them by hand in my garage for a little while and getting the colors out, getting them all dialed in. Basically, you just mix plastic in a microwave and pour it into the mold. And I was doing that for a while. I was like, man, I can't make money doing this by myself.
Yeah.
So we actually found a manufacturer in China who we spent a couple months like going back and forth. He sent me prototypes and sent them back and went through the whole deal. And then we finally were like, all right, you got them right. Let's produce a pile of them. And so that's what we did. I think it was like a $30,000 order from them. But it was a pile of baits. Like, I still have a room full, and this was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I started, and just been slowly selling to Tackle Warehouse. I don't know if you guys seen those group boxes that they sell. They kind of do. The fishing industry has them. Dog treats now have those
Okay,
those
for sure.
monthly subscriptions.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. I see what
You
you're
know,
saying.
so I actually
Yeah.
got hit up this summer from one of them, Mystery Tackle Box, and they bought a huge load of them, so that was a big help. And yeah, Tackle Warehouse gets like 2 or 3 orders a month. Jim's Bass Pro, so
That's sick.
extra income.
Hell yeah, dude. Anything you can.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah,
That
I get
shit
to
feels
bang.
good to offload some fucking bait.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when you got a room full of inventory and you're like,
Yeah.
once I get rid of this, I'll have some money.
Sitting cash.
So yeah, no, it's been fun and yeah.
So your sponsors are AFCO,
Yeah,
IROD.
IFCO, IROD, G Funk Baits, G Money Jigs. I have some other smaller ones that I'm probably forgetting, but yeah, AFCO and IROD are the main players for me.
Dude.
So I gotta ask. Okay, you're talking. You go to these tournaments. You guys are there for pretty much a week, right?
Yeah, 7 days.
Yeah, you're there for a week. Okay. In between, are you guys all staying in campers at the lakes? Like
Every time it's different. If we can find a cheap Airbnb and have enough guys, we'll get a house.
okay.
If we're late to the party and didn't plan anything, sometimes we're camping in the back of our trucks.
Is it a week long rager? Does everyone have a good time, or is it like strictly business? No one does anything.
No, we come back. We have a couple beers, but yeah, we're trying to go to bed at a
'Cause you guys are all
reasonable
getting up super
hour.
early.
Yeah, we're getting up at 4. And,
125,000 on the line.
And you come back dog tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Hey, I guarantee. Hey, listen. You're gonna have a good time. You come home with that fetty. You know?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
We have big tournament at Lake Mead every year, and that's what we always say. When one of us wins, man, we're going to Vegas. Right down the road,
It's
and we're
right
going
down
party.
Yeah. I cashed a pretty good one 2 weeks ago though. I won 15 grand 3 weeks ago, so that was cool.
That's
But
bitching.
I still want the.
That's a little better than cool, dude.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but
It's pretty cool.
when you cash those and cash, you want that big.
You want
one.
that big
You
one.
want the.
You want that big cardboard
Absolutely.
check?
Yeah, you want.
Yeah.
And it's more or less.
Like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Just give me one of those
Yeah,
big
why
ones.
can't I have one of those big ones?
more or less, you want that.
It's really
You
not
want
the money.
It's not the money. You want to be on stage.
You want to be the guy with the big balls that day that
Yeah,
says,
because-
I beat all you.
You can look at everyone and just be like,
Because that also goes to the marketing thing. You know, they see you up there. That's
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah, 100%.
exposure.
Yeah,
Oh, it's good
100%.
exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
win one, you're basically, I shouldn't say set, but you're going to pick up some serious money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
wanted
posted.
a check and
And
sponsors.
sponsorship.
Yeah, my buddy just sent me a picture like 3 days ago on day 2 of the tournament I was just at, and he watched it on live,
Yeah.
and he sent me, and I just posted it like I think yesterday or something. But we'll look at that post when we leave, and you'll be like,
Cool.
oh, that's how those weigh-ins go, because they drive your truck and boat up to the stage, you walk off your boat onto the stage,
Yeah.
all cameras,
Yeah,
lights,
it's a big old deal.
So look at my very last post I did
Oh,
on my
yeah.
Instagram, and you'll be like, oh, you'll have a more of an understanding, like, holy shit, this
a big
this
stage.
is like,
It's like
well, when you see it on
NASCAR when they get
ESPN,
off
you're
there.
like,
oh yeah,
you're like, okay, this is not the fishing that I do
know.
at.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You see these dudes and they're just, you know, and they're getting all these
Exactly.
fish, and you're just like,
Come on,
Yeah,
Johnny. Come
I'm
on,
over
Johnny.
oh,
here.
so you watch Bass Masters?
well, I mean, I've seen
have,
those.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Times.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I've,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen
Yeah.
quite. I've seen a good amount of it.
Oh yeah, that's exactly.
I'm over here fishing pole in one hand and Crustable in the other. Freaking- you guys are over there making the big bucks. I'm over here just contemplating how awesome my life is right now.
Just trying to catch dinner.
Yeah.
Speaking of a video that was on your page that I saw as I was trying to get information, I was so someone stuck a beer in the big ass fish, and I don't know where he stuck it. He stuck it
and then
inside the
he
fish, and then
drank
he
it.
chugged it into the mouth. And I was like,
I respect that.
respect. I fucking dig it. Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. No, there's
What's
some-
the largest bass? This goes for both of you. What's the largest bass you guys ever caught?
Mine is 12.4 that I know of, and that was at Clear Lake. Probably why it's my favorite lake.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know mine. Like I've caught a lot of 10s, 11s, but the one I caught at Clear Lake, I just didn't have a scale, and I was
Yeah.
pre-fishing for a tournament, so I was like, when I caught it, I was practicing, and I was just like looking around, like I just robbed a bank, and I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
did anybody see me catch this thing? I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and I just took a couple pictures, and I'm like, okay, baby, I gave her a kiss. I was like, be here for the tournament.
Yeah, right. That was
Back to me.
that was leading to my next question, dude. Like, you're practicing and you catch a fucking ginormous
You're
fish,
fit.
Dude,
and
I'm
it's
just
like, I hope this tomorrow. Like,
yeah,
you know,
dude, you're
like,
just like, gosh,
oh.
Did I waste the
But
big one?
It's like At Clear Lake, like
Did I waste the big
Like
surprise?
I'll catch a few at Clear Lake because Clear Lake's so healthy. There's so many fish. I'll catch a few and then I'll start bending my hooks over. But we go to some lakes like Lake Mead, Nevada, where we don't even catch a fish in practice. We bend our hooks over and
Let
count our
'em bite
bites
and shake
because
it
it's
off.
so the desert lakes are so
Desolate.
So you don't want to scare any of them
you
off
don't want
to
to
where
hook
they're.
none because once you hook them, they don't bite for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
They're just like
And there's only like in the desert, it's the desert, so there's no,
Yeah.
it's void of life, even in the water.
And I guess you got to think.
makes
you got to
total
think that the big ones are big for a reason, correct?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they're a
Yeah,
little bit
smart.
they're a little bit smarter than your average fish. So that's why they've gotten chunky over
But yeah,
there
that's
over the
the other
time.
thing. Like, there's people ask all these questions, like, oh, like, is there, like that question? It's like, well, every lake is different. Mead, you have to shake them off. Clear Lake, you could catch them, and you actually need to catch them to realize: are you catching 3s? Are you catching 4s? Are you catching 5s?
Yeah.
Because
I gotcha.
3s ain't gonna do it.
Okay.
4s are barely gonna get you
need all
there.
5
You need
pounders.
5 and
And
6
up.
pounders.
And up.
So you can't be.
And you said the biggest one you caught was 12?
12, yeah.
Jesus. So
And-
so you catch one of those fuckers, you're winning a tournament.
At Clear Lake,
You better have some.
you better have something behind it.
Okay.
But pretty much any other lake,
It's
if you
total
catch
weight
a
for
12,
5 fish.
you're good.
Okay, cool. Glad you
5
said that.
fish.
So
Five
it's
fish.
5
5 fish a day.
fish, best weight combined
Yeah, and you
out
catch
of
as many
5.
as you want all day, but you're only can bring in 5.
And you call them out. So you have 5 in your live well. You have a 6, a 4, 3, 3, and a 2.
Okay.
You catch a 4.
Yeah.
Get rid of that too.
You take that 2 out,
course.
and you put in the 4. And you can do that
So-
all day
And you
long.
can do that.
to
You can
build your
literally
bag.
keep
I got you.
Yeah,
getting
so when
and
you go to the
putting.
scales,
Okay.
you want a good limit.
So you guys
It's
have
just one of those
what?
bags that sits on the side of the boat and you kind of just throw them in that.
So you guys have like
usually
a
at the
tank?
tournaments, they have a big pile of bags, and you go and grab your bag, and then go to weigh in.
So do you guys have a tank that you like put the fish in when you catch
Oh yeah,
them?
live wells in your boat. They're all aerated. If we come in with a dead fish, we get penalized a $0.25
Right.
per
Okay.
dead fish.
Makes
so
sense.
you got to keep them alive, aerated. You got to take care of your fish. It's a whole science to this. And every lake's different. Clear Lake, you need 25 to 30 pounds to be in contention.
Are they
When we
throwing
go to
back
Lake
those
Mead,
things?
Nevada, you weigh in
10
9
pounds a
or
day.
10 pounds. You're doing something.
Right.
You know, every
Are they
lake's
throwing
different.
back afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
take
So,
them. They
so
put
just
them in a
restocks
big-
it.
They put them in a
Fuck
giant
yeah.
pontoon boat, and they
So you-
drive them out like 2 miles.
If
and open
if
it up.
if us
Fishing.
bass fishermen killed every fish we caught, you guys wouldn't have bass.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be no bass in the lakes.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be none.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
Dude, I've learned so much today.
I know.
Oh yeah, this is.
Honestly, yeah, this has been a fun episode. So I'm definitely stoked you guys joined us.
What? Okay, you said your best fish. What's your best round?
So the most weight I've ever weighed in
Out
Yes.
of 5, yeah.
in a tournament, the most weight I've ever weighed in was 31 pounds, and that was at Clear Lake. But I've also weighed 30 one time with him at Lopez.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
How about you? Have you ever weighed 30 in a derby besides Lopez?
besides Lopez, I weighed in 32 something at Lopez, and that's crazy because Lopez they're not Florida strain largemouth, they're northern, so that's like unheard of.
Yeah, they don't get.
They don't get as big
10
as Florida,
plus
like
range.
Clear Lake, and it's a different kind of.
And both of
largemouth.
you had a really good days at Lopez.
Yeah.
Was that at the same time?
Well, it's our home lake. We know
You
our
guys
home
know
lake.
You guys know where the honey holes are.
Yeah, if they had pro tournaments at Lopez, we would be rich already. We
Yeah.
would, you know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
So
We would
are you
be
guys
rich.
out there all the time?
Yeah.
I mean, it's our home lake.
I go to Margarita now more often because Margarita has bigger ones.
Okay.
And it's just funner to me. Margarita has grass. Lopez doesn't have grass. The summertime in Margarita is really fun. I just
And the rain definitely helped. This last little bit of rain definitely helped.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, we do need more.
We always need more, and I'm always so stoked to see rain here.
Oh,
Personally,
yeah.
I love rain.
Oh, yeah.
People get mad
Set-
after like 3 days. I'm like, dude,
Keep
fuck
it
you.
coming.
Like
Fuck
literally
you.
everywhere has it for like months. We
Yeah.
can have it for a week.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
come on.
It's like, let's just any rain we can get is welcome.
Yeah, for sure.
Could be years before.
And
we
that's
get
what's funny
substantial.
about Margarita the past 2 years. They actually had a broken pipeline coming out of the dam, so they couldn't release as much water as they usually do.
Okay.
So it held it at like full pool for 2 years, and now they just got it fixed, so now it's coming down. So we're gonna need water. They're all gonna come down soon.
Yeah. Especially Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez is already there.
So has COVID affected the fishing game at
Yes,
all? Like,
yes.
what's the?
So my first derby was at Shasta, and that was a Wild West Bass Trail. It's a different from the FLW, different circuit. It's another Pro-Am circuit in California. But I was also signed up for the FLWs, which is a little higher up circuit. So we had the Wild West at Shasta. What was the dates? January 28th?
Yeah,
or something?
January 28th.
Late January. And they were supposed to have the FLW the week,
Mid-February. 2 weeks
like
after.
2 weeks after.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll fish that one, get myself ready for the FLW.
Yeah.
You know, I'll already be in tune with the lake. Same thing with him, but he ended up fishing that tour, so he didn't go. So fished that one, and we're in practice. We're practicing. It's the last day of practice, so we all get a text on our phone, all the fishermen, and we look at it, and it says, it's like basically tournament might be canceled. Hold on for more information, and we're like, what? Like we've all been up here for 3 days practicing, spent the money, so we're all sitting ducks, you know, and we're like, well, what the heck? So we all wait around. About 7 o'clock at night, they say, all right, due to COVID, we have to cancel tomorrow, and it's another practice day, and the tournament will only be 2 days long.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, whatever. Fished the tournament, didn't do bad, did decent.
Oh, so they still have the tournament though.
Still had the
Okay.
tournament,
The-
but
the
there wasn't a
middle
cut.
tournament.
Yeah, it was only 2 days, and there wasn't that cut for the
Right.
third day.
Gotcha.
So I ended up cutting a check. My buddy Austin cut a check. Louis was just out of a check, and my other buddy Scott got in the top 10. So I mean, we got away with some money, and we were stoked. But then they canceled that next FLW that was supposed to come. We were like, damn.
That's why we all fished that tournament.
Basically,
Yeah, because
practice
you wanted to
for
get
the
that
big
one.
one. So
Yeah.
we're like, damn. So
Yeah, that's the only reason why I fished it.
so now still, we haven't heard anything about the reschedule for the next FLW.
Wait, this is all this year?
This is still this
yeah.
year, yeah.
Shit, I thought you were talking about last year. I was like,
No.
you guys got started early. So they're still
Yeah,
dealing with
they're
this BS.
Yep, only
I mean,
in California.
my circuit's going on, but the Western circuit is.
Yeah, they're all tripping
they're
still.
being pushed
I love, but I
everywhere.
hate this fucking
I
state,
know,
man.
dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, this state. Yeah.
Let's not go there.
So guys, I know. Oh yeah, it's already well documented for everyone. What is the future holding for both of you guys?
Fishing, and some more fishing.
And then after that, you're going to wake up and go fishing.
Yeah.
Go fishing. So
And then you're gonna have a ramen sandwich.
yeah.
Possibly, if it's not on the boat, because you guys don't eat or drink water.
Yeah. So I'm on the national tour now, and I'm loving every minute of it. It's what I wanted to do since I was a kid, is fish the national tour, try and fish for a living. And if this year pans out to what is, if I actually make some good money doing it, at the end of the season, if I'm in the positive, I want to try and just fish for a living. Maybe, when Troy gets about 18, where I could just take off and move back east or something.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's my plan. I want to be back east where I'm with all the fishermen. I'm right in the circle, right in the heat of things, not
sure.
traveling out here in California, being away from everybody for a month, and then I'll see you at the next tournament, and fly back out. I want to be in
there.
the mix of things.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
And Louis took the jump this year, so that NPFL deal was a whole new circuit that they just came out with this year. Never had a tournament, nothing. It was a whole new sponsor deal. And so these guys that are affiliated with Bass and FLW for years came together and started this new circuit. Like, hey, let's start a pro circuit that's a little less money, little less boats, but still lets these guys fish for a living. $50,000 if you win, $10,000 down to 50th place. You can survive. You know what I mean? And
You
so
can make a living doing it.
there was
Right.
a lot of people like me who was skeptical to put their $30,000 in entry fees forward to something that's never happened before, you know. But Louis luckily made the jump, was 5th out of the first tournament, and now that's where I'm basically, if I don't do anything this year qualifying for any other circuits, I might jump to NPFL next year and go do that route, because you can make money and you can fish for a living.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well,
So, okay, so you said 28. How old are you?
awesome.
We're not talking age.
I know. I'm saying.
He looks
How old do I
28.
look? How old do I
You
look?
look. I'm going to go 32.
Damn.
I'm 42.
42?
I was gonna say closer to 40.
Hey, you want some love over there?
I'll give you some love, bro.
Hey, age ain't nothing but a thing.
No.
It's a chicken wing.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Especially if you can get to 42 and start doing what you love, like that's the perfect time, man.
And
But I
Bass-
never stopped doing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
though, but
Yeah.
to where that's
Still-
all you do.
I'll do it till the day I die.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with bass fishing and life in general. It's like we all know that these old guys, they just keep getting wiser and wiser and wiser, right? And that's the thing with bass fishing. They just keep learning and learning and learning. So really, these in bass fishing, you hit your peak at like 50,
Well,
60
the
years
longevity
old because
is
that's
crazy.
and you look at other sports and you can't swing a bat at 60. You know, you can't go.
You're ancient at 30.
Well, I'd say,
caveman.
I'd say
Unless you're Tom
You have
Brady.
a pretty good head start then.
Oh,
You've been
yeah,
doing
yeah,
it
yeah.
since, for a while now. So, I mean, it's just going to keep on building and getting wiser, right?
Yeah,
We're going to
exactly.
keep getting
That's how
wiser.
it
Are we
goes.
going to get, yeah.
It's
okay,
like you were
okay.
saying that memory bank. You
Yeah.
just keep piling stuff in
Yeah,
there.
Right.
putting it in the bank.
Well, I'm just glad like you guys have an opportunity that we don't necessarily have. Like you get to do something that you love and that you have a passion for, and you can make a living off doing that.
We're hoping one day this takes off.
Yeah.
And we can do this for a living.
No,
Yeah.
but see that you got to do something you love, and that's what I've learned in life in general. It's like you can work jobs and you can do whatever you want, but like you can't just sit and stack money. Like spend the money and do what you want.
Yeah.
You know, like
You
live
can't
your
take
life.
it with you when you die.
No, it ain't. What are you gonna do? Burn it when you die?
Yeah.
Give it away? Spend it. Try to do something with it.
Enjoy it.
Right.
Well, Pat and Lewis, man, it's been great.
No, this has been an
Yes.
absolute blast.
This has
boys.
been it's been fun. Absolutely. It's been entertaining
After I
fun.
win my first tour tournament, you guys better have me back on this show.
Hell yeah. let's go.
We'll have that big cardboard.
Yeah, that
check.
big.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be in touch, and you got to bring that check.
Oh yeah,
We'll just
oh
put
yeah,
it
we'll
right
hang it
here
up.
for all the sponsors.
Oh yeah.
For all the potential sponsors,
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that. But
Absolutely.
dude, this has been a blast. Thank you for joining the Garage Gang. Can't wait for the next time.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Thanks for having
Let's
us,
take
man.
You boys out fishing.
Dude.
Let's film some
I'm
stuff.
down.
No, for real.
I'm down.
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
All right.
Blast.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it for today.
Sweet.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook.
Do you guys
or
have
on
any
YouTube.
social media pages you want to drop right now?
Touey Fishing, Bill and Bait Co.
Louis Fernandes fishing.
There it
Instagram.
is.
Instagram?
I'm working on it right now. Yeah, dude. So Stitcher, Apple Podcast, Spotify.
YouTube.
Find us there. YouTube. Hey, YouTube.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. The ever delicious Taco Bell. Yes. All right, guys. That's gonna do it. Let's get the hell out of here. Garage Gang out. Thank you. Bye bye.